Hello, this is the presentation for the session of the 23rd of October 2019 of the Prepa en Línea CEP. And today we are going to check some of the aspects for the activities number 3 and 4. So we are going to start with this presentation for Module 6, Week 2. Well, we are going to check some of the aspects, as I told you before, and during this unit, the topic is, where is my? Basically, we're going to try to describe where things or objects in the house are located. So we're going to check the activities for this week. Be my guest and come to my house. Remember, you have to download the document that you have in every activity for every week. And once you download it, you have to check and follow the instructions to do it. But before that, always try to check the vocabulary and the structures that you will learn on the resources that you are provided with in the platform. This is important that you check this because all the activities we are going to do them based on this vocabulary and specific structures. So for this week, as I told you, we are going to check some vocabulary related to objects in different parts of the house. So don't get confused and don't think that you are going to study the parts of the house. And this is not necessary, okay? These activities are only related to objects in the house. For example, for this activity number 3, as I told you, you have to download the document, and then you will have these pictures. On these pictures, you will see certain objects with some letters, marked with some letters. For example, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and so forth. Okay? Well, the very first thing I recommend to you is that you can check in a dictionary or in the resources we have on the platform. How do you say or how do you call these objects? For example, now first we have the spaces in the house or the parts of the house: the kitchen, the bedroom, and the living room. And then check the vocabulary, make a list. You may work on your computer or on your tablet or your notebook, for example, and make a list like this. For example, letter A, it is the microwave. Letter C, the floor. Then letter B is the fruits. The mirror here. What else? We have a book. We have books here. Okay, so make a list of these things that you have on the pictures and then write them down. For example, the microwave, the fruits, the floor, the towels, the toothbrushes, the mirror, the clothes, the lamp, the book, the switch. Now, the next thing that is important is that you identify the verb be you will need to use with this word. Remember, if it is singular, you will use is. If the word is in plural form, you will use are. So the very first thing then is to identify the objects. The microwave is, the fruits are, the floor is, the towels are, the toothbrushes are, the mirror is, the clothes are, the lamp is, the book is, the switch is. Then, once I have this list, I need some other words that I can use to locate or to find the location of these objects in relation to other objects. Which words are these? These are called prepositions of place. Yes? So, maybe you can see very clearly in this picture the meaning of these prepositions. For example, on, in, under, behind, in front of, next to, between, above, below. So you have to be sure that you understand the meaning of the prepositions. I think in these pictures they are quite clear, okay? Well, once I have the vocabulary and then I understand and I have these prepositions of place, I can start describing or answering the questions I have in the format, in the document I have downloaded, yes? For example, this very first picture concerning to the kitchen. You will have certain number of questions, yes? Here is an example. The thing is that you have to answer in 3 different ways this question. So I have, or I provide you here with some examples. Where is the hamburger? So let's find the hamburger here in the picture. It's here, yes, you see it. Then I can answer in 3 different ways. For example, in the kitchen, the part of the house, there is a hamburger on the table. As you can see, the order of this sentence is the following in Spanish. Lugar de la casa, la frase there is para decir hay o ahí está. Objeto, preposición y el objeto de referencia. So, the second example. There is a hamburger between the salt and the glass, comma, in the kitchen. In this case, the order of the sentence in Spanish is the following. La frase there is para decir ahí está o hay, objeto por el que nos están preguntando, la preposición, objeto de referencia, la coma es muy importante y al final va el lugar de la casa. Next example. There is a hamburger on the dish in front of the fridge. As you can see, the order here is there is, para decir ahí está o ahí hay, el objeto, la preposición, el objeto de referencia número 1, otra preposición y el objeto de referencia 2. So, as you can see, in these 3 examples, I am answering where the hamburger is. So, don't describe 3 different objects. It is the same object in relation to different objects in 3 different ways. Okay, remember that for this activity you have to give the description of these objects and make your audio file. Just remember that you can share the link. Just make sure that the link you are sharing it's in the appropriate format or that this is correct. Well, this is concerning to activity number 3. But what about activity number 4? Well, in this case, for activity number 4, where can I get to? Is come to my house, yes? The same dynamic of as you have been working. You have to download the document and then you will find a map like this with different places, different names of buildings. My first suggestion is that you identify the name and the location of these buildings. For example, we have the park, the theater, the bus station, the police station, the butchers, the bookshop, the hotel, the grocers, the bakers, the news agents, the football pitch, my house. Over here we have the restaurant, the bank, the post office, the cinema, the pub, the market, the chemist, the library, the school, the church, the museum, and the golf course. Well, for this activity, before you get started, I suggest that you identify, as I did here, with some colors, those buildings that I have in the questions, in the questionnaire, in the format. So, it would be a good idea that you put some numbers, okay? Or maybe you can print the map on paper and then with your hand and pencil write the numbers. For example, well, here is for the first point, bus station is number 1. Find number 2, my house. Then number 3, the bank. Number 4, over here, the museum. Number 5, the restaurant. Number 6, the pub. And that's all. Once I have identified the name of the building I need, yes, because I have to answer some questions, then what I need is to identify the prepositions of direction. In this case, they are here, but the important thing here is that you need to know that these prepositions need another word. In this case, a verb. We usually use go or walk when we refer or when we explain how to get to a place. For example, go up or go down, go over, go to, go away from, go past, go into, go out of, go around, go onto, go off, go across, go through, go along. Or you can use walk. In this case, we can use walk, okay? Walk up, walk down, walk over, walk to, walk away from, walk past, walk into, walk out of, walk around, etc. When you're referring to the name of the street where you have to turn into, we use the word turn. Turn right or turn left or turn around. Now, we are going to combine now the name of the buildings, yes, and the verb with the preposition of direction in some structures like this to mention how to get to those places or to those buildings. So in the format that you download, there is a questionnaire, yes? So let's see. The structure you may use is the following. Walk on, then name of the street, el nombre de la calle. Then you say turn left or turn right. Gira hacia la izquierda o hacia la derecha. Pass number of buildings, for example. Pass 3 buildings. Or maybe instead of saying the number of buildings, you can say the name of the buildings. For example, turn right and then pass the chemist, the market, and the pub. Then we can say another example. Turn left into, and then the name of the street. And then we mention the name of the building. For example, the museum is, and then we say the location. The museum is next to the church. If you want to say how many blocks you have to walk, you may use this phrase or this structure. Walk 1 block or walk 2 blocks. So we may have some sentences like this. Walk on Prince Road, turn right and walk on Queens Avenue. Pass or go past some buildings, the bookshop, the hotel, and the news agents. Turn right into Kingsway. Walk 1 block, my house is there, near the shopping center. Something similar, yes? Well, for this activity, my suggestion is the following. Identify the first point where you are. For example, in this case, it says, describe how to get from the bus station to your house. So here is the bus station. I can walk this way and then arrive to the house. The second point is, describe how to get from your house to the bank. So now you are here in my house. I can go or I can follow this way, or maybe I can follow this way, or there is even another way on High Street here. Then the next point, from the bank to the museum. So here it is the museum. You can go this way and then you arrive to the uh, uh, well, right opposite. from the bank. Oops, sorry, because the cursor. Okay, here it is. So from the bank here, to the museum, I can go this way. Okay. And the next point, describe how to get from the museum to the restaurant. Yes, so this is the museum. I can follow this way, and then I arrive to the restaurant. Remember, when you finally say where the building is, you can mention some other points of reference. For example, the cursor is here. Okay. Well, the restaurant is in front of the camping site, or the museum is next to the church, next to the park. Yes? Now, the final point is describe how to get from the restaurant here to the pub. So here it is the restaurant. You may follow this way and then you arrive to the pub here. Okay, so remember in this activity you have to give the directions. First, walk on Queens Avenue, then turn right or turn left on Oxford Street, and then go past 2 buildings or 3 buildings, and then the building I am looking for, it is here. So I have to say where it is located. So in this case, for this activity, I have to do two things. To say how to get there, and finally to mention the location of the building. Well, remember that you have to participate also in the learning forum for this week. You can try giving some examples for to describe maybe how to get from your house to a famous building that is near your house. Maybe to the idea is to use the vocabulary and to practice, and maybe you can share some ideas with your classmates and you can learn from them too. Remember the forum, the objective of the forum is that one. The idea is that you practice there. So don't be afraid and try to share some examples. Well, what else to say? Your activities, they have been really, really well. You have worked so hard last week. I will be waiting for your activities this week. So please try to organize your agenda so that you can hand in your activities on time. And then if you have any questions or some suggestions, I will be checking the messenger on the platform. And then if you don't have any doubts or comments about this presentation, well, I hope this can be useful for you to prepare your activities. Well, I really hope you have a good night and that you have the time to be checking all of the resources on the platform so that you can do your activities according to them. Thank you very much, and we'll keep in touch on the messenger. Thank you very much.